In Massachusetts, the Department of Conservation and Recreation maintains hundreds of public facilities. But for 250,000 of our fellow citizens, access to these resources has been severely restricted or entirely denied by disability.
I believe for a long time that nature can be very therapeutic for people, but there was a whole segment of our population that was not able to experience outdoor activities.
Now, the Commonwealth's Universal Access Program is working to ensure that people of all abilities can enjoy the rich resources of our state and urban parks.
Just felt so great to, be out in the woods. I thought 30 years ago when I had my spinal cord injury that I would never be in the woods again.
Prior to 1988, there were several hundred parks and related facilities in Massachusetts. Virtually all were in need of physical improvements and accessibility, and none offered fully accessible outdoor programs.
As we approached the Americans with Disabilities Act, a lot of the access improvements in the parks were primarily to the building facilities. Having just the basic parking and building facilities being accessible really didn't allow people to enjoy the outdoors. Items such as hiking and canoeing, kayaking, as we began to think of each one of those activities and trying to think about how to make those activities accessible was a challenge in the beginning. As we made access, especially boating access, the light really went on for me that, no matter how level you made the grade to the water, no matter how many handrails you had, there were a lot of people who weren't going to be able to get that boat off the car and get it into the water independently. We were going to have some hands-on help to introduce people to what these experiences were like. And so our program component began.
By 2004, the Universal Access Program had made significant improvements to many of the state and urban parks in Massachusetts and was running 120 programs each year.
I've always hated the winter because of it's cold out, it's snow, it's difficult to get around. But geez, once you get on a sled and you get on some nice clear ice, you actually fly on those things.
I used to be very active. I used to do all kinds of athletics and sports. Then I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and I could no longer do all these activities that I used to do. So I was so excited to find out that there were all these opportunities. I could go hiking, I could go kayaking. It was almost like, the walls were falling down and I could actually go out and do all these things.
The equipment has just evolved incredibly over the years, and that is allowing people to have access to the water, to the hiking trails like never before.
They're called Terror Treks. It's made specifically for trails and sort of all-terrain.
These chairs here that you've seen some of have climbed up Mount Greylock. These same chairs have actually been up a 5,000-foot peak in the Pemigewassi Wilderness.
Well, I've only been on this particular bike, and it's such a pleasure.
You coming down on the bike?
My legs are pretty much immobile in the sense that I have difficulty walking because of balance and fatigue.
Oh, is that good?
This is like being in the Hilton. I think it's a great concept. I can't say anything less. It's a wonderful opportunity for people who are disabled to get some kind of exercise and get in the public and meet other people. So more people who are disabled get to know of it and are able to utilize it.